Church, it's Pastor Mike. I think we could all probably agree that today we live in what could charitably be called divided or divisive times. We see online, we see sometimes just on Main Street or in any places where we might be, the constant divisions, the badgering, the bickering, the questioning of one another's motives that can really define how we relate to the people around us. We see it on the news when we constantly look at the other side and ascribe to them the worst possible motives and say those people are the enemy. But the church is supposed to be something different. Now, the church is no stranger to division and to argument, even from its earliest days. Early Christians argued amongst themselves about what it meant to be faithful to God in the midst of this new Roman world. They argued about should they celebrate the Lord's Day on Sunday, the day of the resurrection, or on Saturday, the traditional Jewish Sabbath. They argued about could we eat meat sacrificed to idols. Some said those idols don't exist, they're fake, so why not? And others said no, that's worshiping that God if we eat something that was sacrificed to them. And Paul writes to the church in Rome, dealing with all of these issues and more, and he speaks to them and he reminds them not here's the right answer and the wrong answer, here are the true Christians and the fake ones, but instead he says to welcome all, to not pass judgment on servants of anyone, to not be the ones who think that we are in charge of deciding who's in and who's out. You see, it's so easy, it's so tempting to want to be the bouncer at the door of the church, to look at other people's opinions or their statements, their beliefs, their voting record, and say, you can't be a true Christian because you voted for this person. You can't be a true Christian because you gave to this cause or to this institution. These things are mutually exclusive. You can't do it. But what if we held on to the word of Paul in Romans 14? Because he reminds them, he says those same issues of where do we celebrate the Sabbath and what food do we eat. He says, some who observe the day honor it or observe it in honor of the Lord. He says for those who eat food, whether or not they eat this food sacrificed to idols, he says those that eat in honor of the Lord since they give thanks to God. And those who abstain in honor of the Lord and give thanks to God. You see, it's not about whether or not you ate the food. It's about where your heart was when you took the bite. So much of our own suspicion or animosity against our neighbors or the people in our world that everybody wants to convince us are our enemies can be summed up to why do they believe the thing they believe? Why do they vote the way they vote or say the things they say? If they do it out of a sincere conviction to honor God and to love others, then God says, I hear that and I honor the heart. Even if it's something different than we think, we have to realize that God's kingdom is bigger than our own opinions. And thank God it is. What a boring place heaven would be if I could dream it all up in my head. So today, have grace to your neighbor, to your family, to your friends. Don't be quick to throw stones, but instead, pray for your own heart and seek out theirs. Why do they think the things they think and say the things they say? Do they care about others? Is it for a love of justice? Is it kindness and mercy and compassion coming out? And maybe it's just coming out in a different way than it does for you. Whatever you do today, honor God, and He will not disappoint you with the love and the care that He shows in your life. God bless you today.